podcast 168. It never fails. It's not my problem. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, you know what? If you listen to podcast 167, it went pretty smooth, and I read
Did
it.
It was the intro really good, Tim?
Yeah, I think so. I think there was a little bit. Yes, I did it. Yes, I did in the background, and I didn't have it all in, but it was no different. It's no different.
I need to go back and listen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, not a lot of swearing. Very educational. It was really good until Lyle Dolph came on. Yeah, very good. Very
Little
good.
Lyle.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lyle, or speaking of podcasts, we have a new podcast that started in 5-Pin World, the Pin Pal podcast with JB Rainsberger and Danny Vogler. So they got 2 episodes out. I'm not sure where they're all sharing it, if it's just on Facebook, but you can check it out on JB's Facebook page or Danny Vogler's Facebook page.
It's on Friday nights, isn't it?
Sorry, guys, I haven't had a chance to watch any of them yet.
I think it's Friday. I think it's Friday nights. Yeah.
So that's cool. I like that. They already had the Ontario Men's Masters National Gold Champions on there, so...
Yeah.
No. Ultimately, I think it's a good thing, right? I mean,
yeah,
we try to do our best as best we can to get stats and information from around the country, but we are still kind of isolated to Alberta too because of where we live, and people out there are going to have a better, more connected feel of things going on out there. So it's a good thing. I think it's a really good thing. It's just more exposure around the country.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I feel like another podcast isn't going to hurt another podcast, right? You're gonna either listen to both, or you're gonna listen to one, or however you want to treat it. I'm not too sure, but
yeah, 2 different groups of people too, right? I mean, in all fairness, I'm pretty sure JP is probably more educated than all of us combined, even except for Tyler, but
he's still way more educated than I am.
Yeah, so I mean, there is some good merit to it. We have a little bit of banter and a little bit of love. I don't know Danny all that well or at all. I haven't met him, but I know he is a 5-pin bowling enthusiast, so I'm sure he's a good fit for that podcast as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the more we can promote the game, the better. So, awesome. Hopefully it goes well for them. I'll have to sit down and actually listen to them, too. I haven't listened to them yet, but I'd like to.
I think they're not super long, are they?
Hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes.
Okay, so roughly kind of what we're doing now,
but
too.
you also had Mitch on, right? So Mitch usually likes to take an hour of the fame, right? So
normally it'd be like a half hour.
No, here's Lyle. He said, not trying to step on 5P, work along. Of course, bud.
Oh, yeah. No, we didn't think you were.
No. Minus he probably didn't say anything rude on his, but yeah.
Oh, so Lyle, are you a regular on it? I know you were on the first one. I didn't see you on the second one, but I didn't really watch it all the way through, so that would be good to know. Like, why not a heads up?
You know what? Let's just like this elephant in the room, right? Elephant in the room. There's been a lot of fights. Who's Team Dex? Who's Team Tim? Who's Team Sly? Who's Team Max? I mean, who isn't Team Max? And then of course Alex wants a little piece of the pie, right? It's forever going to get a fight. And maybe we should have a poll. Maybe we should have teams. Maybe you're going to see me and Max bowl together against Alex and Weber and Dexter and Sly. Maybe that could be a real tussle.
I want to build something up tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see where everybody's at.
Yeah. Hey,
lucky for me, I'm on Team Sly, and like that immediately gets me points because let's be honest, there are a few people that are better looking than Sly in this country. In the bowling world. Let's be real. So that's going to give me automatic points. It's not going to be me, it's going to be Sly. But I'm cool with that.
You know what? We should really get... Eric Villeneuve was talking about French analysts. Eric, we're talking about podcasts. If you want to run a French version one night, we're okay with that.
Yeah.
We'd love that, actually.
Yeah.
Or even one to join us so they can translate or make fun of us in French, whatever they want to do.
Just no Sly. Sly's not allowed on.
Yeah, Sly's not. Yeah. Sorry.
But maybe Alex and Max, right?
Team Alex.
Team Max. Yeah, lines are drawn. Lines are crossed. And you know what? I don't know how it came to be. I think it was just, just Sly was being announced on one day. So I think that's how it kind of came to be. Poor Max doesn't get the love, I think, right? Actually, you know what I think? I think it came back to when we're at, was it in Newfoundland for the Open last year, and we got Max to look at took his gold medal of his singles, and look at Sly across the table who's eating her own bread. Remember, Tyler? He ate our bread at the table. And he's like, you wish you had one of these. And he pointed at the gold medal to Sly. And ever since then, I think there was a line drawn there. And I was always Team Max. So.
Oh, man. Jumping topics for our banter. How's the 5-Pin Universe Fantasy League going?
You got to feel pretty good. Like
I feel I'm on the moon right now.
Yeah, you've moved up to 9th. You were definitely at the bottom for a long time. So that's gotta feel good. I
9-1 Katie, which helps.
Yeah.
Created some separation.
You have to. You have to take you have to take advantage of the bottom feeders, right? So when you're playing a person like Katie, you got to make sure you show up. I know. At one point I was last, and now I think I'm in 5th or something. So,
let me zoom in on that for you.
Oh yeah, I'm in 4th.
You know, had this league been like the 3 weeks that I thought it was, I would have done really well.
In what world did you think any league is 3 weeks long?
In my magical world where sports don't happen.
I'm catching you, Ty. I'm catching you.
I 11-0 or 10-0 Hendo. So I mean, like I'm definitely coming up there, but it's kind of great to see. You look at obviously Ryan's really looking forward to try to get some sort of prize.
Yeah.
Dexter, I prefer a jar because 2 wise men, 1 cup. That's what he's kind of going with there. And pleasant surprise is Tracy. I know how competitive she is, and I know Curtis is tired of listening about fantasy baseball. I think she's really asking all the key questions.
She's really into it though, which is
it's
awesome.
Great. It's great.
And I know she asked Curtis a lot of questions too, but I mean, like she's doing awesome. This just must mean that Curtis understands baseball way better than Jeremy.
But also, look at how many moves she has not made.
8. Look.
Like compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
And look at Daryl. I bet Daryl hasn't even looked at it. I bet Daryl hasn't even looked at it.
Like, how has her team just not been injured?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be. She must have drafted very well too. Let's see what she. Oh, sign in. Put your password so everybody knows.
Crap.
Well, that was a fail. Jesus. That's a long password.
Oh man, this is such a process.
Will this remove that while he's logging in?
Everybody knows his phone number now.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Well, you think about it, Rushman's top, Olsen's top 5, Reese's top. Yeah, it's other than Lars Newbar.
Can we just talk about like Adley Rushman for a second?
The home run derby.
Oh my God, was that fun? Like, I mean, he lost that round, but it was gross. Plays the first 3 minutes left-handed, comes out, plays the last 30 seconds right-handed, and then hits like 7 dingers right-handed. It was awesome.
Yep.
So good. Yeah.
Did you also see Guerrero kill that kid?
Oh yeah. He was like 115 miles per hour off the bat, and just took it better to the face than Jamin did. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It was
Jamin got hit pretty hard there.
Unfortunately, the kid went down. The camera panned back. He was still there. Panned one more time, and he was gone. They cleaned up the field real quick.
Yeah. Just like a war zone out there with a stretcher just dragging him off the field.
It's probably this kid. He's going to get a 30 for 30 for sure on Netflix. I guarantee
for sure, yeah.
That was pretty cool what they were doing with the home run balls. They signed all of them, right?
Yeah.
All the players did, and so when they hit them out, they got one. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. For sure.
So this week I've got Carrie.
Oh, crap. Well, it starts Friday, right? Or Sunday?
Friday.
Yeah. Oh, I face Tyler.
Is that you?
Go buck yourself, yeah.
Oh. Great. Can't wait.
All the enthusiasm.
Do you think Johnny's sweating a little bit?
I guessing he's not right now. He's on holidays, but probably when he gets back. See how
Like,
fast free fall he is.
I'll be honest. Out of all those teams, Johnny's was the absolute worst drafting I've seen. And I'm in 4 leagues. It wasn't
panic.
good.
It was pure panic.
It was. He would take his full 2 minutes and then panic. But like,
You want to know what's
I'm
exciting for
surprised.
the
I'm
next?
surprised there are 2 teams worse. Honestly.
What's up, Ty?
The next exciting, 6 days in sports is Wimbledon. An
That's
actual
right.
sport. We can
Actual
watch-
tennis.
Yeah.
I actually find the females more entertaining than the men's. And hear me out here. Only because
Yeah, for sure.
everybody for the last 15 years, it's been Nadal, Federer, Djokovic, and you had Murray in there, right? It's just Djokovic. You know he's going to go and win it. At least the ladies it's an open field, right? And
That's
and
fair.
there's a lot of different talent out there that can make it. So it's pretty cool. The what was it that ESPN announcer? He was on there and he was doing some analyst work, and then he won the quarters or made the quarters or something like that.
The American?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
It is good in the women's game, but it also hurts them because you don't have a Serena Williams now or a Naomi Osaka that you can have a fan base behind to actually watch the sport and be like, I'm going to cheer for this person because they're wicked good.
Yeah.
It's the same as when we talk when PBA had Pete Weber or with Jason Belmonte. They have that one person that you can put the brand or the industry on, and the WTA is struggling because of it.
Yeah.
So yes, it's cool to see some no-name, unranked player make it to the finals, but it actually is not great for their game right now.
Yeah, I think it hurts it a little bit, right? You don't have the Tiger Woods or the number one that everybody can root for or root against, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Do you find it?
I'll be honest. For me, that was Serena Williams. I've never been a huge fan. Just I don't like some of the attitude that went with it. So she I would watch to see who could even compete because she was on a level all of her own, 100%.
Kind of the last one, after Serena, that was actually half decent, and won a few was Halep, right? Simona Halep. But she's kind
up there.
of petered off now too.
Yeah, she's retired, and same with Naomi, right? Naomi was strong for a couple seasons and then is dealing with mental health, and now she's had a child, so you don't have her playing either.
Wozniak was there, and then McElroy killed that, right? So.
Oh, jeez. Oh no. Not
Too
wrong,
soon?
though.
Too
No,
soon.
no, it's not too soon. Never too soon. Oh man. Okay.
With
Well,
that-
let's get on to the show here. We got a Masters recap.
Yes.
Tim, you want to do the introductions here, and we'll bring them in?
Yeah, for sure. So our first intro, he's probably the best one in the family by far.
Oh, it's not even close.
Not even close. He's our favorite. Senior team champion and senior single champion, double up. Mr. Brian Hendrickson. Hey, Brian.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks, Dexter. Good to see you again. Where's that cowboy hat?
The cowboy hat. Yeah, why aren't you wearing the cowboy hat?
I have it right over here. That's the one you gave Cindy a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you the only one in the family with a gold medal?
No, I think Brett has a couple. Robbie has a silver, I think. Cindy has 3,
Fair
but
enough.
She's really the one you're competing with then.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, Robbie has a gold.
Yeah, but
Does he have gold? I don't know.
Mr. Hendrickson has 2 golds now in 1 year. I don't think they
3
dropped
golds.
that, so.
3, yeah,
There
because
you
you
go.
won last year as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. I
a fun
remember
game.
how nervous you were last year
Yeah.
for your first one ever, and how amazing you played. I remember you shooting your highest game ever at Bonnie Doon. How does this year compare to last year? How did things feel this year in comparison to last year? Was it
more
more
nervous.
comfortable? More nervous. Okay.
Yeah, more nervous this year.
And why do you think that is?
Well, the way I bowled last year with the 378 compared to what I bowled this year, I was better last year than this year.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, conditions are always different, right? And so it's not really like what you average or what you throw isn't always the difference. It's how you're competing against the other people, right? So if you're all in a situation where let's be honest, Bonnie-Doon is good scoring, right? And the centers that we played at this weekend are pretty good scoring, but it's not Bonnie-Doon, right?
No.
So shooting those, you don't have to average what you did at Bonnie-Doon to succeed, right? You just have to outplay the others.
Exactly. That's what happened.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I know it's making it twice back to back on a Manitoba seniors team is tough. I mean, you guys have a lot of people that try out in Manitoba, right?
For
and
sure.
And your senior section is pretty big. I don't know if they had a scratch portion, but I know obviously Jeff was there last year with you as well, right?
Yep.
So winning back to back, it's phenomenal, and then adding the obviously the singles with it as well. When you were bowling, were you keeping tabs of your singles, or just you bowl your match, your regular match, and it is what it is, and figure it out later? You're not looking a couple lanes down and seeing what your other opponent is doing.
No, actually, after day 2, I didn't think about it until we were done. And then people started coming up to me and going, "Oh, you won the gold." Yeah.
That's awesome. But
Yeah.
I really think that's the best strategy. You focus on the team and you worry about your individual stuff after. The less you know, the easier it is. Really.
Well, I kept stats on the single senior people. I knew all their averages. I had it in my cheat sheet here, I guess.
Yeah.
So I always knew going into the game what, like Randy Castleman from BC, 186. So I knew that going in every game. Yeah.
Right.
Let's give him a quick shout out too. Like I mean, at the end of the day, like it's POA. POA is tough, and like it all depends. A lot of it depends on the centers. You played very well. You won the gold medal. It was awesome. Randy Castleman was 550 pins over average.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
He could never beat me though.
Just matched up at the wrong times. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was the only one that was over average for the entirety of the tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's the crazy thing about match play, right? You just never know who you're going to run into at those times. Like, yeah, he was crushing it, but yeah, just ran into Brian when Brian had the better games. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Orist from Saskatchewan, he had I think a 256 average, and I don't think he hit 200 10 out of 20 games.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Pressure. You even look at the team portion. Your team was plus 922.
That's huge.
In those conditions, I was watching the teaching. Obviously, it was a little bit more invested in that, but Saskatchewan was minus 1,400. That's a 2,300 swing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Over the weekend. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Manitoba's best came out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manitoba had another phenomenal showing, obviously, that week. Yeah. How, this is your second year in a row, but how did you enjoy playing with Mr. Jeff Bourne?
Jeff is the greatest. He's my idol.
Yeah.
I have a shirt that I made in Edmonton that said, "Jeff is my idol." He's fantastic. I think he's the best in Manitoba.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
Yep.
He is.
I mean, look at the people we have here: Karen Armstrong, Sandy Anderson, and so on, and Jeff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff's held Masters records before and stuff like that. Like, he's obviously won a singles gold, the twin tournament. Like, Jeff's done it all. He's obviously a legend in Manitoba. He's a legend in Canada, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
He's fantastic.
Jeff is your idol. How?
Well, Brett is.
Oh, come on. Would you do all the things that Jeff Bourne does? Like, how far would you go for a handful of change?
Not far. I don't like change. I like
Dexter, it was how far would you go for a supper? He got a supper out of it.
It was a steak. That's fair.
No, we're all
Jeff
fun
is
and
the
jokes here.
greatest.
He's such a gem. And he's got to be so fun to play with. He's got to keep that pit really loose. It's awesome.
Maybe we should do a little bit of a shout out as well to your team. If I pronounce the name, I apologize. Sibylla, Dixie, and Linda Orn, right? Obviously,
yes.
Derek's
Linda
mom.
Orn again. Linda's one of the nicest people I've ever bowled with.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
And your coach was Krista Purdy?
Krista Purdy, 2 years in a row for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. I don't know but I know Manitoba is pretty proud about the double aggregate more than anything as well, right? So.
Yep.
I know Brett's been talking about it all nonstop, and as he should, right? But Brett not on the team, I think, kind of helped the situation a little bit there.
Wow.
Okay. He's not here right now. He left.
He is listening to everything that we're saying.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Oh, yes, 100%.
I'll bet you, yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, we can't thank you enough for wearing a WCBT hat. We're big, strong proponents of that tour and stuff like that. You support, you and your boys support everything that goes on, and let's talk a little bit about your maybe your personal life a little bit. So you were telling us before the podcast started, you maintain the baseball diamonds and stuff like that during the summer for your area?
My wife and I and Brett and Robbie have a 120-acre baseball complex out here.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah. We've been doing it for 35 years.
And is it your facility?
We've leased it for 35 years. Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you guys.
Yep.
So you guys handle all the food and everything there as well?
Everything.
Wow.
I normally have a drink in my hand. I didn't think we were allowed.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen two of you drinking already.
Carrie, lift yours up.
Yeah, I saw it. Thank you. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Yeah.
That's amazing.
What else would you like to know?
How did you raise Brett and Rob? Like,
they're mama's boys. Yeah, but we took them out from I guess 6-7 years old. Started taking them to the bowling alley, and I've only been involved this way for a couple of years. Because you guys know I've been bringing them out there for years.
Yeah.
And now I'm involved, so it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they have to
we
follow
all bowl
you
together. Well, we all bowl together on Tuesdays.
Okay.
My wife and the kids. Yeah.
I have to say, we give Brett a hard time, and I know Robbie doesn't post as much online, but Brett is definitely your number one fan. He cheers you on, and you see all that stuff.
Yep.
It's pretty great to see family pride, right? So.
Well, he's the best.
Yeah.
Don't tell Robbie that.
He's also
Robbie
listening.
knows. Robbie
Hey,
knows.
don't worry. In Newfoundland, my mom picked Dexter as his favorite, apparently, to Shane Chafe. So, I mean, I do understand. It's okay to have favorites. And if Brett's that one, I'm sorry, Robbie, we can have our own club. So.
Well, I missed you in Newfoundland. I saw Dexter and Adam Weber, but I wonder where you were.
I'm not that very good anymore. So that's why I'm on podcasts to keep relevant, I think. So
He
That's
started
what I heard.
coaching though, Brian. He might be back in a few years.
Yeah. Well, I hope to see you both next time I'm out that way.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Is there anything you want to talk about before we let you go here, Brian?
Yeah. How do you get one of those cowboy hats?
Honestly,
Next time.
Honestly, absolutely. The next time I make nationals, if you want a cowboy hat, I will absolutely make sure it gets to you.
Everybody heard that.
No,
Hey, you know what?
Once we get the first one in Alberta, we don't want to keep them afterwards. They're a pain in the ass. So if I can pre-plan getting rid of them, it is yours. It is.
Well, I have the
absolutely
one
yours.
I have the one that you gave Cindy for me,
Yeah.
and I have my military badge on it. It's hanging over here, about
Awesome.
4 feet from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's special.
I had a gentleman approach me to switch jerseys after the tournament, and I was like, "You want the Stetson too? Because I don't want it." He's like,
I
"Sure."
got rid of both of my jerseys last year by accident, and when it came to bowling here, they're going, "Where's your uniform?" Well, I traded them. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
That's why we have two now. Yeah. Nobody wanted mine this year. That's good.
You got to keep your double gold jersey.
Yes.
What if you have two? Put one up in a frame.
Wash
it first, though.
I was going to do that. Yeah.
Do that.
If I never bowl good again, I'll have that to look at.
Fair.
Absolutely.
Tim should have kept all his too.
Yeah.
All my shirts. I have them all. I never traded them.
What?
About
You never
20
traded
of them
in?
or more? Yeah.
Oh man.
No, I never traded them. No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
sure. Go. Don't hold your breath. See, look. But you know what?
Steve,
But-
we've
but-
sold out, but when we have another run, I will send you something. Absolutely.
But we will. But it's Masters are in Winnipeg next year, so it'll be a lot easier for us to get Brian a Stetson.
That's true.
yeah.
Well, and if I don't make the team, I'll still be out cheering you guys on. I have a big SUV that I can drive you around when you need to go somewhere.
Awesome.
There we go.
Yeah, it's sketchy in Winnipeg, so we definitely want to ride everywhere.
Oh yeah, you do. Especially at night.
That's what we've been told. Yes.
I'll tell you.
That's
I'll-
what we've witnessed.
We witness it.
well, when I see you guys again, I'll tell you a gun story.
Oh no.
What happened to me last year?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we will save that story for another time.
Exactly.
Thanks very much, Brian, for coming on, and we'll let you go, and so you can take care of the ball diamonds and go watch some great balls. So,
Okay.
have a great night, and congratulations
much.
again.
Yeah,
Thanks,
congratulations,
guys.
my friend. Thanks, buddy.
See you again.
All right. Perfect.
He's definitely our favorite Hendrickson for sure.
Yeah.
I never
Oh, for
met
sure.
never met his wife before. I bet she's a saint. And then there's Robbie, and then last one would be Brett.
Yeah.
It kind of goes in that order.
Like, I mean, I'm glad we got to interview him, but it turned from like an interview of Brian to a roast of Brett. But I guess we should have seen that coming. Let's be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Our next guest, I'm not sure if they have video, but I do see that they're in the background for hopefully
I
audio.
think she does have video, but we can try to get her on. I know she's trying to catch. I think she's in the airport. To be honest with you, trying to catch a flight for another
man.
somewhere else. She just came back and she's gonna go there. Oh, there she is.
Oh, there
Yeah,
it is.
video.
There we go. Perfect. All right. So we're going to introduce our teaching master team gold medalist. And I think if I remember correctly, the singles for teaching ladies were both golds. Right? It was a tie.
Perfect.
Correct? With her and Amanda Campbell. So we like to introduce from Alberta.
What was her name, Tim?
Ava White. Hey, Ava, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad.
Tim, it doesn't look like she's in an airport, bud.
No, I thought she was.
No, it's about 9:30 here, so I made it here around 12.
Where are you?
North Carolina.
Oh. For what?
Yeah. A wedding.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good for you.
Did you guys just
Hey.
get back from Newfoundland like on Sunday or Monday?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I was in Edmonton for 3 days and then I flew out here.
Oh.
Busy.
Always on the flights.
Busy.
Apparently.
Congratulations. You guys had an absolutely unbelievable weekend. You guys were phenomenal right from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys played great right away. You somehow handled having my dad the entire weekend. You guys put up with a lot of adversity. So, no. My dad can't stop talking about it. He can't.
Oh, yeah.
He is unbelievably proud of you guys. He keeps telling us stories about how resilient you guys were, how well you guys got along. I can't tell you how proud he is. So, you guys must have done something right this weekend. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. He was the best coach. So nice, so sweet, always hanging out with us too.
That's awesome. So 4 out of your 5 bowlers were newcomers for
Yes.
nationals. Is that correct? How did you all
Yes.
navigate the nerves of a nationals when you don't necessarily have a big leader? Because Kira's only been to one nationals before. So it's not like you have someone to rely on other than Scott, your coach. How did you guys navigate those nerves?
Personally, I hung out with my parents, which personally is like a very calming thing for me, and it still feels like a fever dream, and like this never even happened. So, but
Fair enough.
Kira was very good at directing and telling us what we're supposed to be doing, so that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, your personal records, like high was 15-6, low was 12-9. Everybody had plus 500, like insane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Impressive. For you now, your first nationals, perfect record. What's next? Do you keep bowling? Do you retire? Do you switch sports?
Well, I said as a joke that I was going to retire, but that's never going to happen. So keep bowling, keep going. Hopefully make it next year. That's the goal.
Awesome.
Try to defend your title.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about how that final day was for you guys. Because you guys had it all wrapped up. You guys were 22.5 points ahead going into the final day with only... 25.5 points up going into the final day with only possible 24 points the next day. So you guys had it all wrapped up. You guys are ready to go. How did it feel walking in on the final day knowing that you guys haven't won without throwing another ball?
Well, it was pretty much a party, but everyone was there to support me because I still had to finish my singles, and I didn't know any of the stats, so I really didn't know what was going on. So they were all just pushing me and making sure I was bowling well and kept going. So, and we had a party the day before we went into that tournament because we won the teams event.
Yeah, I heard you guys may have ended up on George Street and had a few drinks.
Oh, just maybe a couple.
The fact that George Street was like 4.5 minute walk away doesn't help. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, doesn't help.
No.
Oh.
What were some of your favorite like off the lane memories? You know, we talk a lot about bowling, especially when your team is as dominant as you were. Obviously, there's lots of great memories there. You're in Newfoundland, which for us Westerners is a very different place. What were some of your favorite memories?
Well, I arrived in Newfoundland about a couple days early, so I got to go see my grandparents, which was pretty nice, and my aunts and my uncles. My aunt actually came out to the tournament and watched me bowl. She had so much fun. It was so sweet to see her. And we were at St. Pat's, because she bowls there, she was all like, oh, my niece is bowling in this and everything. So that was a good memory. And then going out for dinner with my team was pretty fun. We all went out for drinks and we all just hung out together. And we never left anybody out. Tried so hard.
Yeah.
Did you guys do any sightseeing?
As a team, no. But I went sightseeing with my parents.
Fair. Yeah.
So your family lives out there. Had you been to Newfoundland before?
I went 6 years ago for a wedding.
Okay. So did you
And
know
when
that
we
it
were
was going
there,
to be
we-
that? Did you know it was going to be that hot
Oh,
while
yeah.
we were there?
No, because
We did not.
I was freezing the entire time I was at my grandparents' house. Because it was cold and foggy, and sometimes it rained. So I was in
Right.
Okay.
like sweatpants and sweaters. And then we get into St. John's and you're cooking to death.
Yeah. Even getting off the plane was gross. Like it just hits you in the face.
We weren't ready for that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't
Out
think
of the 3 bowling
anybody
alleys,
was.
what was your favorite? And why?
Plaza,
Plaza, yeah.
because
That's
I could
fast.
slide.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys had holiday day 1,
Yes.
and the slide there that day was a challenge.
Yeah, I almost hurt my knee a couple times,
Yeah.
especially after like injuring it a week before the Masters tournament. to qualify for nationals. So that was pretty tough.
Yeah.
But
They did a really good job of fixing that, though. It was awesome. When we got to holiday, they had brought out that giant fan. They had found a giant fan. They brought in dehumidifiers, and the approaches were fantastic once we got there.
Yeah.
So.
Day 3 they were perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe can we just touch base on? I know I heard you mention, Ava, about your team, and I think this is a common recurrence with all the gold medalists we've had and will have on the podcast. I'm not saying other teams weren't like that, but you mentioned you guys were a cohesive team, right?
Yes.
You guys did everything together. You guys probably were really positive and supportive and encouraging together. How big of a component does that make? I think it's a huge component for national championship.
Oh, yeah. Because we all got along. We all talked. Nobody was off to the side by themselves. So we all just pushed each other, cheered for each other. We had no voices day 3. Me and Kira could barely talk on day 2 anyways. So that was a little fun. Scott lost his voice at one point.
How good was that?
Well, it was okay, but you probably find Scott more annoying than the rest.
Oh no, not at all. Dan and I get along really well, but I gotta bust his balls. I know he's probably watching right now too, actually. So, yeah.
I don't doubt it. He probably is.
So let me put it this way: we have 168 podcasts, and this is the one he wants to listen to.
Yeah, this is probably the first one he's actually watched.
And it's not because his 2 sons are on it; it's because one of his star pupils is on. So,
100%.
So again, Robbie, I feel you. I really feel you, Robbie. But no, it was great. I mean, and obviously, us as people from Sherwood Bowl, we are really proud of you because we've had 3 out of the 5 on the team that made nationals. I think that's huge. We had half the Alberta contingent. I think it was really cool to see Kira and Stacy win together. For people who don't know out there, that's Ant and a niece combo there. So it was really good. It was a lot of good pause. Obviously, Val was there. Her boyfriend Mark was on the men's team, I believe, right? So, so it was kind of everybody was together on the teams, and I know it was great watching from the outside. It was definitely a lot less nerve-wracking knowing that you guys are up 25.5 with 3 games left going into holiday, right?
Yeah,
going into they were at St. Pat's the final day.
Yeah.
How was St. Pat's for you guys?
Pretty good. I slid perfectly fine, so.
You slid right through it, eh?
Yep, and we walked in, and then the Newfoundland team walked in, and they were blaring music, so we were all having a party before we even started. Yeah, we took pictures on the lanes. It was pretty fun.
I think we should just run music the entire time.
I think so, too. We almost took a vote so they could play music the whole tournament the last day.
Yeah.
Rainer can get out of here.
She doesn't slide.
I'm not trying to make excuses here, but I feel like those approaches at St. Pat's were probably harder on the men because of how hard they drive into the shot.
But you ask Rainer, it's because we're hot and sweaty.
Yeah, I heard it's because we're gross.
No, we're gross. Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
Because we're gross.
Yeah, that's fair.
Eva, what province had your favorite jersey, and did you trade anything?
Yes, I did trade. I really like Quebec's, but I didn't trade for Quebec. I traded with this one girl that I talked to for the whole tournament. And for some reason, I can't remember what's her name and where she was from because...
What are the colors?
Red. That's all I remember. I'm very generous.
Northern Ontario or Newfoundland?
Northern Ontario. There you go.
All right, we're making progress.
You know, she probably has her name on the shirt.
Yeah, but she's not home.
But that's in Alberta.
Okay, so Kayla, Lynn, Andrea, Chris, or Elizabeth?
I think Andrea. Yeah.
Mitch is about
Don't
3
quote me
seconds
on
away
it.
from getting banned.
Mitch just has to make the podcast about him, right? So let's ignore him.
traded my one shirt. I had to wear the cowboy hat on my head all the way home because I had nowhere to put it in my luggage.
And you will keep that one and
Never keep
Never
another
keep
one.
another.
not anymore. Now you know why.
Yep.
Did anybody ask you why you were wearing a cowboy hat in either airport?
Actually, no. I got a lot of weird looks, but nobody asked me why I was wearing it.
That's impressive.
Would you be proud saying that you're a bowler, or would you say I just like wearing it? Because I know what my answer would be. I would not be talking about bowling.
You're just gonna say I'm from Alberta.
From Berta,
Probably.
baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
I'm just from Alberta, a little bit country.
Perfect.
Yeah. The whole time I was like, I wish I was wearing cowboy boots with my cowboy hat.
That should be part of the Alberta uniform, I think.
False. That is, nobody likes that idea besides the two of you. I'm pretty sure.
Do you know I missed for uniforms track pants? Remember the track pants?
There was no chance in hell anybody was wearing pants in that province that weekend.
Tearaways though.
So I don't know, Tyler. You weren't young enough to get track pants in nationals, but when we had track,
Yeah.
So
I didn't get
originally-
them, but...
so
I've
the
seen
track pants, and you talk about dress code. When you're in YBC, you got track pants to match with your track suit, and a lot of people
hideous.
they were meant to be bolded. Like unless you brought everybody got pairs of black pants, everybody had a bowl and track pants.
I mean, sounds way more comfortable than like a starchy cotton dress pants from the 90s.
Nope.
Vic says they were great, and I trust him way more than you people.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Amazing. Well, someone's...
We're having
I
technical
think
difficulties.
they kicked out Eva too.
Somebody's trying to call me.
Yeah. Us too.
It is our next guest.
Okay.
So is there anything, Ava, you want to talk about before we let you go? We kind of allotted our time here, so the floor is yours.
I think
You're
I'm pretty good, but yeah, I don't know what else to talk about.
No, that's
Did
perfectly
anybody?
fair.
Oh, did anybody have Tim Hortons in Newfoundland? Because my sister says the ice caps taste just like the old ice caps in Edmonton.
Oh, I didn't have an ice cap, so I
Just
don't
have
know.
coffee.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Missed opportunity.
Can't help Mariah on this one. So sorry.
I don't
A
know.
mystery to remain. Well, congratulations again, Eva. From Alberta, we're very proud of you and your team. Congratulations to all of your teammates. And enjoy your time in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I already forgot. I know there's two of them, so 50-50 chance.
You got it right.
You should just say Carolina. You would have got it right.
I feel like that's worse somehow.
Yeah, probably.
Thanks so much for joining us, Eva.
No worries. Have a good day.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So Dexter is right now trying to get our guests on the mend here online. So yeah, we can maybe talk about a little bit about the teaching men. Our next guest will be coming on here hopefully shortly. Let's pull it up here. So I don't know if we want to really get in full in depth because we might be stealing the show from him or the Thunder, but let me pull it up here. Yeah, the BC men, teaching men, obviously they won, and they won handily, I would think. If you look at it, it was 109.5, so they won by 10. So they kind of had a really good last. If you look at it, actually, you lost the first two games, and they only lost two other games after that.
For the teaching men?
For the teaching men for BC. They lost for game 1 and 2, game 4, and then they lost one in game 19. Otherwise, they won every single one of them.
Crap.
Impressive.
Oh. Hold
think
on,
you can
guys.
you
I'll
can
be right
scroll
back.
in on the thing. Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, I think he's.
Bye, Dex.
We are professionals.
We'll just remove
All right.
him while that
Anyway,
happens.
so they played very well on that aspect. We can bring up some individual results. Obviously, I'm not tech savvy like the rest of those guys. But they had
What are we looking at? Teaching men singles?
teaching men's, yeah. So yeah,
Or teaching men
yeah.
team?
Team. Let's go with team. We had Rick King, Mike Wood, Dave Borgford, Nigel Borgford, and Trevor Wachowski. I'm actually kind of surprised Trevor made the team. I'm not saying that he's not a good bowler, but he should be playing tournament if I were him. But
So, fun fact, Tim. Craig Ford just sent me a picture of Newfoundland's track pants. And they did actually have them the first year that I went to YVC. So there were still track pants, but Alberta didn't have any.
yeah, they were snazzy.
Quebec also wore track pants for a very long time. Like, I
Right.
think until like 2012, maybe?
Quebec, eh?
I just got the photo from Craig too. He should have maybe taken the next size up, but just kidding, Craig. Love you.
You were talking about the BC team here, Tim?
Yes,
What's
yeah. So if you
going
look
on
at it,
there?
I mean, Rick King, obviously he was the single, and that's who our guest is, or hopefully be coming on here shortly. We had Mike Wood, Dave Borgford, Nigel Borgford, and Trevor Wachowski. And I believe, I don't want to, can I get this wrong? I want to make sure we had the right. Pull it up here. And yeah, and I guessed right. Joe Borgford was the coach. So it was a kind
Family
of a family
affair.
thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and
That's awesome.
honestly, Rick's been great for over the years. For many of them who don't know, he's Tyler and Aaron King's dad, and Rick's been around for many years on the teaching master side. I don't know Mike a whole lot, or Dave, or Nigel, but I met Joe a few times, and Trevor's a hell of a player. Again, I think he's more of a tournament master than a teaching master, but it's probably just because of location and able to travel with all his young kids. But yeah.
So I guess we can maybe, do we want to talk about stats while they're getting
Sure.
set
All
up?
situated here.
Compared to the ladies, we said, the Alberta ladies, their top record was 15-6, and their lowest record was 12-9.
Yeah.
These guys had a little bit more disparity, and they were only, looks like 73 pins plus for the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Was that, did they win matches, or did they outplay the field?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You just got to get lucky. I think, honestly, probably team total became the huge factor, right? Mm-hmm. If you look up there, I mean, Rick being plus 716 makes a huge difference winning team total, right?
Yeah.
Well, plus 73, they were the best team out there, according to pins over average, right?
Yeah.
And they matched up well, too.
Yeah. So, best of both worlds in that case.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They were the only team in the teaching men's division to be plus after the week.
I just think that's crazy, and honestly, you're going to get that with seniors in teaching, just pins over average functions and how all that works. But being minus 1,000 or something like that, it's not unheard of, because I've watched, been around masters enough. It depends on where you qualify out, what your center is, and then how the conditions are. And I know Newfoundland had good scoring. Just the approaches were a little tough, and I don't think that's anything to say anything on the centers. I just think it was just
the weather,
unprecedented
right?
weather, right?
Yeah, there was no way they could have predicted and or controlled that.
No.
I'm not super familiar with teaching masters format. Do they carry over averages at the national level? So if someone competed last year in Edmonton for nationals, does their average from that nationals become part of, like, is it a blended average? Is it just this year's qualifying?
That'd be a great question for our Masters representative, which happens to be Dexter. So I don't know. I have no idea that answer.
Tim Hooper says each season stands alone. Thanks, Tim. That
There you go.
redundant's my next point. Because I was going to say, well, maybe there's like lots of people that competed last year at Bonnie Doon where like scoring was crazy high, and now they're coming to Newfoundland and that's why we're seeing 7 out of your 8 teams in the negatives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not true, so ignore me.
Ignore me. I'm not sure if they're going to get this whole video thing figured out here. We got 8 more minutes kind of for that slot. So what else do we want to take a look at here for them?
Let's look at the singles.
Yeah.
Right. Teaching men singles.
So obviously Rick winning that. So our both teaching and seniors were all double golds.
Yeah.
Do we know the last time that happened?
It doesn't happen all that often, that's for sure. No. But you look at the averages. I mean, for teaching, those are pretty good averages.
Mm-hmm.
Rob McDonald averaging 251, right? I don't know Rob Fisher, but 240 there. Rick King's at plus 716. So you're looking, that's it's almost 35 pins a game, right? So,
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
So he's averaging about 69 or something like that. But so those are huge scores, right?
Absolutely.
Again, he was one that didn't have to bowl last day either.
No, quite
He went
handedly.
Oh,
Well, looks like we have some movement going on here in the background. Wait for them to get situated, and then we'll bring them in here. Hello, Dex.
Hello, I'm back.
And Rick is ready?
He is here. We are ready to go.
All right.
perfect.
Oh, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I did something right.
That's all right, Rick.
How's
How's it going?
Looks like not bad. Looks like you guys need a beer.
That one.
What's that? Water? Okay.
Oh, Aaron just threw under the bus. So,
Yeah. Me and Aaron just finished work not long ago, so he went home. So
yeah.
He didn't come over to try to help you?
no, he goes, you got it. Yeah, I go, yeah, sure. I said it's black and white to me. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we got you on. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
How are you feeling after the week?
Great. It was Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Party City. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah. Yeah.
How did you guys feel arriving in Newfoundland? Newfoundland is one of my favorite places to go. For us, it's a 3.5 hour time change for us, and like that at times can be a challenge. 4.5 has got to be crazy. You guys literally flew from as far west as you can go to as far east as you can go in a day. How was that whole experience, and how did you handle all that?
Actually, it wasn't that bad. The 6.5 hours on one plane is a little too much, because we went right to Halifax and then took a smaller plane like the ones we took to Thunder Bay that other year from Toronto. Oh, they were horrible planes, a little tight, but it wasn't a bad plane, right? Coming home, it was a little rough. The weather, like coming from Montreal back home, there was a bit of turbulence when we hit near Thunder Bay and over Manitoba. It was quite a bit, but outside of that, it was a pretty decent ride.
What time was your flight home?
I
think we're at the point in bowling where we need to start banning 7 a.m. flights home. They shouldn't exist.
Oh, Hamilton, our plane was at 5 o'clock in the morning. We had to leave right after the closing ceremonies. After the elimination draw, we had to leave. Right, 3 o'clock. We had to go out of our hotels. That was pretty bad. Yeah,
that's.
Getting a day early, getting there a day earlier really helps. Like we did this time. Yeah, that was fantastic. I think our
can't remember. I think our plane was 12:45, but I think it didn't go off till about quarter after 1. But I mean, the time was good for us coming back.
And then you gain so much time coming back too. So that flight doesn't feel so bad. But I don't know. Big part of nationals is making sure you get to see all the people you want to see, and if your flight leaves it like that,
I know.
in the morning,
I know. Yeah, I mean, you really don't have a lot of free days, but it's. We made the best of it, and the first night we were there, we had a good time. Hooting and hollering, and I think they were going to kick me out. No, they didn't. It was a lot of fun.
How great was it being able to be at a nationals with your son?
It was a lot of fun. The only problem is he bowled at a different center every day, and I never got a chance to see him bowl because. Normally, when he's having a little bit of trouble, I can say, hey, you're doing this and you're doing that. And he picks it up and then he starts throwing lots of strikes. But
he played great against me, so that's good for you.
Well, you had trouble against Adam. Yeah. I know I turned around and won one of my games with a 129, and I went, oh, my God, I couldn't believe it. But the other guy was bowling worse. I mean, that's the trouble with the thing about the POA, side of the tournament. There's a lot of people, they absolutely try too hard. So, I mean, myself, I've found a way of coping with it and figuring out a way to beat people. So I try to stick with them as long as possible. And normally by that time, if I'm not that far behind them, they'll fold, right? So, and then I just hold on to the win. But I mean, I had some pretty close matches, and three of them I got blown right out of the water. So, I mean, you throw a 300 or close to it, I'm not winning the game.
Yeah.
But I mean, over the years, I've been trying to bowl with a lot of injuries, and I injured myself last year at the Nationals. I pulled a tendon in my finger. And I couldn't even bowl my last game. It was really tough. But, I mean, I still had around 14 wins, but it wasn't bad. This year was sweet, though. A lot of fun.
Yeah. Were you paying attention to your single stats at all?
I always do.
Yeah.
I like to know where I am, who I'm bowling, the pin difference, and then I got to – I mean, there's a few times I matched up against the singles guy I was bowling against their singles. The other times I'm watching two scores. But stuff like that has never, ever bothered me. I mean, I actually enjoy it. But I mean, if some other people on the team are struggling, I try not to tell them they really need to, I like throw a strike here. You need it. You're in your match, but you don't try to tell them exactly where they're sitting. Because some people it really bothers, right? So,
and at the end of the day, it doesn't change how you have to throw the ball. Everyone's trying all the time, so.
Oh, for sure. Right? Yeah. We actually had a lot of fun this tournament. I mean, Trevor was on our team this year, and a great guy to bowl with. I mean, that was a lot of fun. We kind of held the ship together, me and him. We either top and bottom, or we switched around, and coach did a great job with us, and everybody was hooting and hollering, cheering. But we went on a 14-game win streak. I mean, that was impressive. I don't think we've ever done that before. Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of close matches. That went right down to like one ball where we got the mark we needed and won the game, right? So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Was there a single moment that really stood out for you for that week? What was your favorite moment of the week?
Favorite moment? Probably just being down on George Street, I think. I mean, hopping into the bars. Well, last time I was there 10 years ago, I hit every bar that was open. I had a drink in. There was three of us, so we hit every bar. I mean, that was awesome. A lot of money, though. Prices sure went up. Prices sure gone up this year. Holy God!
It's definitely gotten far more expensive.
Of course, I get to the airport, and then I had to load up with lobster. I picked up scallops, salmon, cod.
Oh, that thing was open. It was closed when we were there, but we weren't there.
Yeah.
Pretty
Well, they said
freaking
that it'll stay frozen for 24 hours. The woman said, "Nah, it doesn't." Because I had to get them in the fridge right away, freezer right away when I got home. Because, that was like probably 12 hours altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't want all that money wasted. But it was pretty reasonably priced too, so that was good. Yeah. So are you gonna make it next year, Tim? I hope you.
You know what, Rick? There's always hope.
Two years in a row now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think having Tyler come up and Bradley, they've taken some spots away from a lot of us. So either I need to be better, or I just need to.
Or tell them to stay home.
Yeah, stay home. Yeah, stay home.
That'll.
No, I hope. You know what? I usually have a great chance until at least the first tournament, right? So we'll figure it out from there. One day. It is Winnipeg, right? So I have some redemption coming back in Winnipeg.
Yeah. I missed last time I went there.
Team Alex.
Last time we went there, I had I had won the singles the year before, and we were supposed to go to Winnipeg, Manitoba the next year, and I lost in our play match for our prevails. Well, right, and I'm the alternate. And I was very mad. My mom's from Manitoba, and I really wanted to go there, so I'll have to make sure I make it next year. So,
yeah.
But after that, I kind of changed the way I started throwing the balls and the way I played people. So, most of it's a mind game, but that.
We're losing Rick.
We're losing him.
He's happy though. I hate to cut you off, Rick, but we are going to move on to the next guest. We can't thank you enough for coming on.
Yeah.
Obviously, great playing. Amazing. Let's see if I can get his audio back quick.
We have lost his audio too.
Yeah, we lost him.
But we got him on for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm happy he gets his due diligence.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Thank you very much, Rick. You have a great evening.
Yeah.
See you later.
We can't hear you.
See you.
Right.
Thanks, Rick.
Bye.
All right. Well, I'm happy we got that on. Thank you, Dex. And Aaron,
thanks
you got to
for
be better
figuring
to your
that out.
dad.
Oh,
Sure.
I have to walk mom and dad through this stuff every day.
But you know what? I can guarantee our next guest is ready and prepared.
She is.
She is. She's ready. Yes. I am not going to butcher her last name. I'm going to call her by her maiden name. So from Tournament Masters Ladies Team Champion, we have Jenna Albus.
Hey, Jenna.
Hey,
Hi.
Jenna.
Do you want to pronounce it for us?
Yes.
Yeah, Jana Van Wellingham.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, I also
Not
go by
that
Jana Alblas. I've heard Jana Van Alblas. I've heard all sorts of
Van Alblas.
variations of things. Yeah. Yeah.
I had to double check it 3 times when I made that post this morning.
I was impressed. I was impressed it was spelled correctly.
I still wasn't sure, but I did hear otherwise, so I assumed it was okay.
Yeah. I've had Masters shirts spelled wrong on a regular basis and things like that. So it wouldn't be just you problem.
Well, welcome aboard. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys were incredible.
Yes, it was amazing.
2 losses.
Yeah, it took you 15 games to lose a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
Crazy.
pretty remarkable. Yeah, we ended up with the first 2 days undefeated, and it's kind of oh my, what's happening?
Yeah.
What's happening? What's about to happen? It was crazy.
And then after the first 2 days like that, that's got to take off so much pressure on you. You've got this huge lead. You guys can go out and freewheel. You don't have to stress too much, right? Everybody else has to chase you, and that's just such a great feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, the goal is to win the day, right? Like you can't win the tournament your first day. Like
Totally.
you can't. You can dig yourself a hole,
Yeah.
but you certainly can't win a tournament on day 1 or even day 2. So like the plan was to win the day, and then put ourselves in a pretty good position if you're doing that every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the team was solid. Like low average on team was 236. High average was 262. So everybody was super consistent. I know you didn't have the best record, but
No.
what position were you playing in, Jana? Like your
I
average
was an
solid.
anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah. So it became like a running joke that like, you know, I knew my place on the team. It wasn't to win my individual point, right? Like it was your team needs you. I'll be there. I swear. But,
That's
you know, iffy on the individual point.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, like the individual points are obviously beneficial and helpful, but you know, throwing the strike to win you 3 over 1 is way more important.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's
good.
awesome.
And you're looking at your team. Obviously, everybody knows Karen and knows what her background is.
Yeah.
Alyssa's had a really great since COVID.
Couple
She's
years.
been dynamite, right?
Yeah,
and
Alyssa's been great.
I don't know Jessica all that well. I've heard the name. I haven't seen her play.
Yeah, she plays. She makes it fairly regularly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Brooks come out of YBC, right? And she's played very well.
She's been out a few years. Yeah, she was like a newcomer this year, but like lights out. Like it was amazing. She was amazing.
I heard that this was like the first year that she decided to, hey, I want to take this serious.
Yeah, she was pretty dedicated throughout the season, like preparing to make it, and she just squeaked in. Like the last couple spots on the team were pretty close, and I think she only made it by 9, the last spot on the team, and she bowled at the Open Nationals as well and did extremely well. Like she ended up Rookie of the Year there, and then she came to Masters Nationals with that experience, and like just there was no looking back. She was great.
Yeah.
Your team is. Sorry, go ahead.
As much as Brooke is a newcomer to adult nationals, she played competitive hockey, so she has a wonderful mindset.
She does.
You know, is an excellent competitor. How was that energy on the team?
It was one of my favorite things. Like I remember my coworkers, nobody knows anything about 5-pin bowling, but they like really want to support me, right? Like Jana's going to nationals. We don't know what that means. Like, do you say break a leg? Like, what do we say? Like, we don't even know what to say. But
that was a possibility.
Go do it, right? Yeah. So they decided to go with break a pin. It's kind of like how they like sent me off. But I remember saying to my coworkers, like, this team on paper is full of potential, like so much potential. But for me, I was super excited about, like individually, like we're all very competitive people, right? Like I like to win. Right, like I know Karen likes to win, and has won, and like has that kind of like buckle down. We've got a job to do, like kind of mindset, like find a way to win. And I played with everybody before, so I knew everyone had that mindset. Brooke was new for me, but my sister played with her on the Open team, and so got to know Brooke a little bit that way. And she has that exact mindset as well.
Yeah,
buckle down. We've got a job to do. Like. It's never too late. You never give up, you know, kind of thing.
Amazing.
Right. And
great.
Obviously, Sandy as your coach is kind of an X factor too, I think.
Yeah, like not only like she's lived this experience before, right? Like she's as a player, and not only kind of adds value as a coach, and so yeah, like she's irreplaceable, kind of like from that perspective, having had that tournament ladies experience as a player too.
Yeah. I know probably her, like just her positivity, and I mean all 5 of you besides Sandy. I mean, I know you just you guys were a team, right?
Yeah.
I could tell by the posts, I could tell by the photos I saw, I could tell by all that stuff you guys were a team, and I think that's kind of like the ongoing theme here is if you gel well as a team, you ended up, you know, you end up doing very well.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like it was at the end of the day, you know, like, okay, we won the day, and then I'd be like, how did I bowl? Like, what were my scores today? I don't even know. Like, and I'm rooming with Jessica. I'm like, how did you bowl today? Like, I didn't have a hot clue how anyone was doing as an individual. because that wasn't the focus or the priority there. And it was remarkable to kind of like experience that fully, you know, like everyone was on the same page that way. And Alyssa even said at one point, you know, sometimes if you have players who are struggling or you don't have that kind of, you know, everyone on the same page vibe, you don't throw the same because you're like, oh shoot, like I really need this, right? Like because, you know, so-and-so's having a rough time, or, you know, the team feels it. But the team never felt people's struggle, and like you never doubted your teammates. So you were able to throw a bit, you know, a bit easier and a bit more freewheeling because you had such confidence in everybody above you, everybody below you. It was never up to you. So there was this never extra like little need to, you know, make the shot. And so I think that made a big difference too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
With your guys' dominant performance and now Manitoba double aggregate, are you looking ahead thinking return of the Manitoba Ladies dynasty?
Yeah, I mean that's the goal, and I think I think there's potential for it too, for sure. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, lots of strong ladies coming out of Manitoba. Lots of strong players from Manitoba, and a great youth movement out of there as well. So
yeah, especially on the men's side, the youth bowlers are a ton of guys.
Yeah.
it's great to see.
I think Janice is being modest. I think definitely there's a lot of great potential out there, and honestly, you can see it. I know we talk about maybe our lucky little area in Edmonton. We've had really great generational people there to help us and help define us, and in Alberta too. And I see that in Winnipeg. I see that in Manitoba. I see that with Karen and Sandy. Jenna, you're a leader there too, and you can see these young girls coming up and stepping in, and they're just fitting like a glove, right?
Yeah, and we talked a lot. Like Alyssa's been had a lot of success too, but as an individual, as a singles competitor, this is her first team event too. She can do it all, right? Yeah. So it's a different mindset too, and a different kind of experience. She talked about, and I think that's going to make a big difference here too.
Right. I know we were fortunate enough to be playing against each other in some sort of way in Masters, playing singles, and I know you're playing teams. It's a totally different mindset.
Yes.
Besides the win, do you prefer playing? Do you relish the opportunity to play singles? Prefer. I know that's a bad word. Or do you enjoy playing the team?
I enjoy both. They're separate events.
Yeah.
For sure. Like it's a different style. The days are shorter when you play singles.
For the year we were with, right?
Right? Like it makes a big difference. But you don't get that same sense of like, and Manitoba, like our ladies are great. Like, when you play as a single, you're still part of the team, right? Like you're still part of the dinner invites and the practice invites and all of that stuff, but it's still not quite the same as when you are on the team. And so like you miss that when it's not there. But the goal is always to qualify first for singles, throughout the season, but never ever disappointed to play on a team with these ladies for sure.
No. So now that you won your gold, I guess what would be on your bucket list moving forward? I know, are you going to try out play the Manitoba Open? Or are you going to try for the Open? Are you going to this year?
I don't. It's hard for me to play both just because of it's family time, vacation time and stuff like that away. But I'd like to be a bit more competitive than I have been, because you don't. There's no way, we were talking about too. Like there's no way to practice those. That match play, there's very few ways to practice that in a league or even in like your Masters qualifying, because you're as an individual, right, and things like that. So I think just more kind of opportunities for tournaments and locally for sure and things like that. But
I want to put you on the spot then. Will the Misfits have a better season next year?
The Dynamite?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow, Tim.
You messed that up.
Wow.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I hope so. Yeah, for sure. That'd be fun. Maybe get another lady on the team.
Yeah, I apologize. I wasn't trying to be a dick there. I actually just messed up on the name.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be a dick. That's just my personality.
That's how I am.
Mitch, unbelievable.
Can't help it.
It really happened. But That's where they have me on. Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, I enjoyed playing. I enjoyed playing 5PL this year. It was great.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the next season, obviously.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, that's wrong. I am second VP, so there's so.
Ooh, a wrong on a
That's
wrong. I don't like it.
Technicality.
Yeah. All right, maybe we should leave off of that then, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Janet, thank you very much for
no
coming on.
problem.
Obviously, congratulations to you and the Manitoba
you.
ladies. You guys played unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking to the Alberta ladies. They're like, yeah, they literally walked away from the field.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to
after
keep
day
up.
2, everyone
Pretty cool.
was just basically playing for second.
Yeah.
Yeah. At a certain point, yeah, it was pretty cool for sure. And Brooke, as a newcomer, at one point she's like looking around. She's like, "It's always like this, right?" I'm like, right.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You don't know the difference. Sure, you go with that.
You can only hope.
You can only hope, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on. And
Thanks for having me.
Have a great summer.
Yeah. See you guys later.
you.
Bye.
Tim
Well,
is just
before we
getting
move on, I
absolutely
wanna-
roasted right now.
Well, it's nothing, but I really want to apologize to the Dynamite. I don't care about the Misfits, but the Dynamite, I was actually legit. I don't know what I was looking at, but it happens. You know what?
We're
It
going to
happens.
refer to them as the Misfits of Winnipeg from now on.
Oh, no.
So
Well, I guess
Alberta's now on the hook from northern Manitoba
Yeah.
and calling the Dynamites the misfit. Do we just hate Manitoba?
Well, I mean,
Like,
I have
why-
come on a podcast and said Manitoba sucks. That was one of her topics me and Ryan had.
Oh,
for
of course
podcast.
it was.
Yeah,
Of course
so,
it was.
Can't wait to go back and listen to that.
yeah, it was just a short little thing. But anyways, it's not about us here. It's about
Yeah,
the
for sure.
champions.
Who's next, Tim?
We have from the tournament men's team, the winning team from Southern Ontario. We have DJ Villeneuve.
Hey, DJ.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Not bad. We'll try and be a little bit more proper with you because Tim is going off the rails here. So
Here's the thing. I'll just be quiet. If you need stats, I got to check it. So you guys go ahead.
Oh man. So DJ, how many Masters Gold is that for you?
This is my third Masters Gold.
Third Masters Gold.
Yeah.
Unbelievable play by you guys. To stave off the charging Quebec team and then Manitoba at the end. Like, you guys had it locked up with 2 games to play, I think?
We had to get 3 points game 20 in order to lock it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was...
So you guys decided to take 8.
I mean, the guys they bowled well the entire time. I decided to show up for a few games, and I guess that happened to be one of them.
Yeah, you guys were phenomenal the whole week. Even in like tough situations, like St. Pat's was really tough that day for the men. I mean, I watched Stephen Woods start a game with -19 for the first 2 frames.
Yeah, back-to-back fouls.
But you guys found a way. You guys found a way to like bridge those approaches. Watching even like Bobby just plant and throw and like. Man, the pinfall there was so good, but you have somebody shoot a 400 at you, game over. Like
Right.
you can't defend.
We were talking about that too. St. Pat's we felt was probably one of the best scoring houses of the weekend, and
It was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
you only really got to bowl 3 actual games normally there, and then the last 3 games reminded me of back when I worked in a bowling alley, just having street shoes on and throwing balls. It was just hope for the best at that point. You couldn't really do anything else.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you the last time I fell and fouled at a national. Like that.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And it was the only reason I did was because I touched the sole of my shoe. I just happened to wipe it and wiped all that sawdust off.
Which normally is usually better.
Yeah, usually.
Wasn't.
It was Insta-Stick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but I mean, I know DJ, but
Wait,
Masters.
Tim, you weren't there?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
But besides that point, 2014 Masters in Winnipeg, it was really tough to slide, right? DJ obviously won gold. 2019, Gatineau was tough to slide in. DJ won gold that year too. But besides that, I mean, maybe it's just the time of year.
Common denominator.
Common denominator. Not because DJ's there, but I mean, maybe
he's spitting on the lane. That's what was going on.
Yeah.
For sure.
Gatineau in 2019 was a little bit easier because the year previous we had open nationals there, and we had pretty much all of our games at a Nick. So we had, and our Masters team, I think there was 3 of us that were on that open team the year before. So we knew a little bit of what to expect and how to avoid those kind of conditions with the raised foul lines. Was interesting.
Yeah. I wonder how, like, if you had St. Pat's approaches and a raised foul line, how bad it really would have got.
Stephen Woods would be absolutely screwed. When we played Stephen Woods at Nationals in Anik, he hit the first game, he hit the shield 5 times. And then you added 2 fouls into that. He's like, that's game over, man.
It's just a 5-frame game for him.
Oh, man.
Poor Stephen. Just leave him alone. Yeah.
How was it playing with Robert McDougall again? That guy's unreal.
So Robert and I, we used to bowl a doubles league together back when I first moved to Toronto. So when he and I get to bowl together, it's just like old times for us. We really enjoy it, and if we can, we try and get in a lineup right next to each other because it's how we bowled our entire. I think we bowled 5 years together in a doubles league.
Right.
So it's always a lot of fun bowling with Robert, and he's really good at keeping the team loose and having laughs, which is so important down the pit.
I was going to say, like, he just seems so good to have in the pit.
He is.
And then goes out and parties his face off and comes in and throws unreal.
I was just going to say.
Was watching him, and I never noticed it until we were at Holiday. Like, when you guys are doing your clap, he bounces along with it, and I don't know how he throws a ball like that. I would be ripping deuces left, right, and center.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. I have a hard time keeping my balance on a good day. I don't know how he can do that.
Especially, he's got to be half hungover.
I would say that's probably an accurate statement.
like, or still drunk and still standing up. I don't get it. It
just never stops.
Amazing.
Is he a big caffeine drinker? Like, what's his secret here? He's
I think honestly his secret is he's just still young.
Yeah, fair. I would have been sleeping on the approach hungover like that.
How old is he?
Yeah. He's 25, I think. 25, 26.
That sounds about right. So I bowled him my last year YBC.
there it is.
There you go.
You guys are nailing it.
The Mitch influence, I guess. I don't know.
You know, Mitch doesn't drink anymore, I hear. Yeah.
He took it really easy this year.
Yeah. And obviously, you guys, your 3 wins was with Bobby Torville. I mean, and Bobby's a hell of a player by his own right. Ontario is always a team to be reckoned with, or the top team you're going to look at when you get there. Obviously, Mitch, winning his gold with you guys again. We talk about Mitch enough. We don't need to kind of elaborate on him anymore. And you had Dougie Brock. I mean, I think just like yourself, Doug is very underrated. People don't talk about you two both enough, right? And Doug is just awesome, right? And
he's definitely someone I look up to. And when I first moved to Toronto, Doug was in the zone that I bowl in, and so he's only a few years older than me. So it was always someone that I looked up to and wanted to accomplish the things that he had accomplished at a young age as well. So it's always a pleasure when I get to actually bowl with him on a team. And he's recently moved, so the only time I do have that opportunity now is on a Masters team. So it was really nice.
Yeah. One of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet, too.
Definitely.
Just not a mean
and obviously Coach Brendan Pankoff, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was definitely a great fit for you guys.
Yeah, it was my first time having Brenda as a coach, and I mean, really, honestly, I think it was the first time I ever really spoke to Brenda was once we selected her as a coach. Growing up, I grew up in Ottawa, so it was the complete other end of the province of where she lives, and it's always someone that we saw in passing and would acknowledge each other, but to actually have conversation and get to know each other on like a personal level, it was the first chance that we had, so it was nice.
How much trust did you have to have in her? Because you guys didn't change your lineup the whole tournament, did you?
We made one change.
One change? Okay.
Yeah, we started the tournament. I was 4th, and then I swapped to 2nd, I think, after the second day. But other than that, we had confidence that she was going to make a decision that was best for our team, and we fully trusted that, and we believed in each other. So whatever she felt was best, we went with it.
Rolled with. Yeah.
Do you maybe want to touch base or maybe give a shout out to your Southern Ontario boys team bitches?
Yeah. So I mean, those lovely ladies, they took care of me that week. My wife was unable to make it, so I was an honorary +1 wherever I went. And honestly, without them, we wouldn't have been able to get by. I mean, every day they saved us at the bowling alley, getting us drinks, getting us food. They were there to encourage us. The one day they showed up to the bowling alley, they had just went on a boat trip, so I think they got screeched in too. So they showed up, and I mean, they were ready to have a good time. And I think that was when we were at Holiday, and it really just changed the pace for us, and we were able to just kind of loosen up, relax, and just have some fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say, there's team shirts out there. That's how I know.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Dave Pankoff was one of those bitches I hear too. So
I think it was unfortunately Dave Pankoff was one of the bitches too.
Yeah, it's definitely, and again, like having your cheerleaders there, having a great team that gets along together, is just make successful teams, right? So
yeah.
I guess moving forward, though, DJ, I guess maybe on a personal level, what other kind of goals do you have for next year? Obviously, you're probably going to be playing club tour this year, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It's a nice new addition to Ontario that really I haven't been able to experience in province. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I guess for bucket list, really, I mean, it would be nice to eventually maybe represent the province as the single, but I'm always happy just to represent the province in any capacity. There was an ongoing joke that if I didn't qualify second, I wasn't qualifying at all. And this year was the first year that I didn't qualify second, so we'll see what next year brings.
Breaking the mold.
Yeah, got that monkey off your back.
Exactly.
That's awesome. I know Tim said we'd skip over Mitch, but how is it playing with Mitch, being the anchor all week long?
It's always fun playing with Mitch. He's another one that's always good to keep the team loose and have a few jokes ready. But this year was different. He was extremely positive, which isn't something any of us are really used to.
It was
and
obnoxious.
We heard it. We heard it. We did not like it.
Obnoxiously positive.
it was every frame too, like moving in the right direction. And there's all he would say, or like nothing changes. So you're trying to like get ready in your approach, and all you can hear him in the background is like, nothing changes.
And like
positive thoughts.
You guys crushed us the first two games. We're facing you in the final time we're facing you guys. We're up 250 with like 3 frames to go, and Mitch is just sitting there being like, "We got him right where they want him." like this next 3 frames, they're ours. We got it. It's like, oh.
He pulled us aside at one point, and like. We were all a little nervous because he hadn't really snapped on us. And then he's like, you know what, boys? No matter what happens today, it was still a great day. 5-1 is nothing to hang our heads about. So it was weird to have that like pump-up speech come from Mitch, but it worked.
So you need him back on the sauce, you're saying?
I think maybe it would bring out the other side of Mitch, but I mean, he wasn't bad, so I've got no complaints.
That's true. So you're just saying the other provinces gotta jump all over him and feed him booze or something. Gotta get him off his game.
You just gotta find that one thing, that makes him mad, pushes him over the edge, and then it's...
that's easy. Gambling, bowling, politics. There's lots of things I can do that. Yeah. Okay.
So you're good at that. Did you guys not crash into a glass door one time, the two of you, Tim?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was a different story.
We got
long
those
ways.
buttons.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, DJ, awesome bowling, guys. You guys deserve the gold for sure. It was fantastic watching you guys. Like you said, it seemed like you gelled all week. There was obnoxiously positive Mitch Davies and Robert McDougall dancing on the lane. It worked out perfect.
Yeah, right. That's the combo.
100%. If we will see you at Club Tour, I'm assuming.
Yes, you definitely will.
Perfect. We'll see you out there, and have a great summer.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, see you, DJ.
Congrats.
Cool.
Ontario men's are always a dominant force, right? And
for sure.
I don't think people see DJ enough on the bowling circuit where I think he's a great player, right? So
yeah, if you even just continually making teams out of Ontario is hard, right? And then winning nationals is hard. Yeah. So the fact that he's got 3 of those already is pretty incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to bring on to our next guest, a former guest, way back when, our Tournament Masters men's single champion, Dwayne Gilardi.
Hey, Dwayne.
Hey, bud, how's it going?
How's it going, guys?
Perfect.
Good.
Perfect.
Did you just finish your workout?
No, I'm actually working right now.
Oh, okay.
Just doing some work here.
Yeah.
Hell of a summer for you, right? Like, you win Quebec Classic, and now you're National Masters Gold. Like, quite the spin going on for you. Are you planning on going to Club Tour as well before we get into the Masters talk?
Yeah, I am going to Club Tour. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was so the sponsor that sponsored me for the season, the Club Tour was on that one, so it was kind of part of the package, I guess.
Awesome.
I was at a point where I wasn't sure if I was gonna go. I was just gonna give him the money back, and I was pretty upset going since Regina. Well, basically since Manitoba Open.
Yeah.
But
right.
I guess we all go through that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, talking about Masters, obviously that was the other end of bowling, not thinking about hanging up the shoes for the summer.
Yeah.
Talk us through the round robin play.
Round robin, I guess, like, I'd never been singles for Masters, so it was something unique to, especially playing with Jenny. That was a unique feeling, but just getting that experience to play match play at that stage was a lot of fun. The round robin, it didn't feel too, I guess, out of sorts, having some experience to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
Like
similar
with the
to
Cash
your,
Tour.
Yeah, I was going to say, similar to cash events where you're
Yeah,
playing those
yeah.
people one-on-one.
Yeah. And like you said, getting the opportunity to play with Jenny as well, it just was very comfortable. I did find it a little bit hard, like, to not be, like, super invested in how she was doing and like just really focus on myself. So it was, because you're together and you're supportive, but we tried to prepare together, and we talked about, like, how we want to support one another and boundaries in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she did an incredible job for me, so that was comfortable. Plaza being as dry as it is, it was about 4 games in. I think I had under 600 for 3, and I changed balls, and then I don't know, stuff just changed for me. It was
You went
a couple.
You went 295, 190, 241.
The next 3, right? What was the 195 and then a 190?
Yeah, 197, and then you started off with 295, then 190, 241, 197, and then 307, 281 to finish that day.
Yeah.
Or 281.
So I changed balls after game 4. I think it was game 4. Was game 4 kind of crummy too?
Game 4 was crummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit frustrated, losing 3 in a row and not even giving myself a chance. It was bad.
So losing 3 in a row to start, like, how do you deal with being in that kind of a hole? So we talked to Jana from your province mate earlier. She says you can't win a tournament day 1, but you can dig a hole. What are you thinking after that?
I think the process didn't change. Like, it was you're like, as long as I make an adjustment and I make a change, I just thought that the wins had an opportunity to come as long as I stayed with it, right? But it was up to me to find a change. I'm not going to win averaging 200.
Yeah.
You're going to even have a hard time winning averaging 250, right? So it's
Our team tried that. It didn't work so well.
So you guys had it was, I guess, surprising. We just put it that way. It was surprising. See Dexter struggling on the average is not something you see often at the start.
It wasn't good.
So I want to touch base a little bit. I know you talked about Jen being your partner, and I know Tyler's been obviously singles masters before with Tracy, and I have been fortunate with the other Jen to play with her for 3 times at nationals. I think it's I do agree that you need to have your own way of dealing with the singles, but I also think the vibe when you're playing well or they're playing bad, or you guys still have to work together, right? Because I know, like, it's very, like, you might be playing singles, but you're also playing as a team because I think that if Jen had a bad vibe coming off, or if I gave her a bad vibe, it carries on. Does that make sense? And I think that having you and Jen, who you guys are super close together, definitely helps that situation out.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. She was like, I mean, I only have one experience to go off of, but I couldn't imagine it being much better than that, right? There was, even when she was struggling, like, she would get upset, but she would never like walk away or storm away. Even if she was upset or disappointed, it was always encouragement towards me before I would go. And you can't ask for more, in my opinion, than that, especially when you're seeing someone like upset and down. And it takes a lot for you to, be unselfish in that regard.
Right. And so
especially when it is a singles too.
Yeah, that's just it, right?
Yeah.
I don't have any bearing on her success, or nor does she on mine, but other than the fact that you continue to be supportive.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's sort of touch base. I know we talked about, I mean, you qualified second in the round robin there. And it was, usually it's tighter. Brad was up by 6 points on you, and you're 6 points above third. So you know how to play the first match. But looking at the matches, and I know you played like 7 other great players out there. I did notice you were 3-0 against Jeff Young. Is there any reason why, or is it just that you were better than him?
I know what you're doing here, but Jeff just had a slow start. I had him in the morning. I was lucky that way.
Yeah. Okay.
It was because I got him first. That's all.
All right. Okay. Well,
was it the same lane draw every day for you guys?
It was the same pattern.
Same pattern every day?
Same pattern. So if you...
Interesting.
Like, if you were 4 over, you went 4 over. Every day was the same, but not the same. We never played on the same lanes.
Yeah. Sorry, that's what I mean. So like, you faced everybody in the same order every day.
In the same order, yeah.
That's weird. I thought each block was randomized.
Ours was randomized when I played, yeah.
I played Jeff, and I played I played Wilcott last every day. Jeff Young first, and Wilcott last every day.
I think that changes your mindset because you already know the rotation and who you're playing. This me. I mean, I know you're always in the same mindset, but it's like, okay, you know what? I have 2 games, get above on this person, right? You kind of have that idea in your head.
I think, honestly, like, looking at that list of guys, I don't know if there was ever a chance where you go, hey, I have an easy down the stretch, or I have a tough morning. Like, everyone's good and everyone can shoot at any time.
It's tournament and singles. It's tournament.
Yeah.
Like, every match is going to be hard.
Exactly.
If you don't show up, you're not going to win.
I do think it was easier to keep track of, like, who you had to gain on it, because I knew my schedule. Like, I already had memorized my schedule of like who I had to play, or the lane draw. Yeah. So that was easier, I guess, if that's what you're referenced to, Tim. But
it just you're already mentally prepared to go what your kind of battles are going to be, right?
Yeah, it just would have been easier. Like, it's easier than going to the board trying to see who I play next, or like who you're chasing, right?
Yeah.
I just knew I was always chasing Brad.
Yeah. So
It
I
was
mean,
great. Well, at the beginning, I was chasing everyone. Everyone was
fair.
me at the start.
I remember your Facebook post. I was like, I'm last already, and you whatever.
Yeah.
You kind of came back.
Well, you look at it. You and Connor had the exact same start, right? You guys were both chasing the field essentially, and you both end up making stepladder.
Yeah, I mean, watching Connor too, like our matches, if it wasn't for the right corner, I don't know if I win, because he got I think 3 in a row in one of our last games, and I think I beat him by under 4 twice, maybe 4 and 2 or something. I don't know.
You waxed him one game, and then you beat him. No, you beat him 247, 211. 347, 218, and then the last one was 262, 258. Yeah.
Okay, that one. Okay, but the 211 game was, he went right corner spare, right, or something to finish, and at that point I was on a strike. So, but if he throws a strike or any strike, and they were all the same shots. And then the same thing happened, I think, in the step ladder. I watched him get a hard right corner, and I just thought, oh man, to me that was like good fortune in my.
Yeah, this is my time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
So I mean, let's talk about the step ladder a little bit. Obviously, you played Connor the first match because he beat Brad in the roll off for third spot, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
I don't know if anyone saw that. That was crazy.
No, I honestly didn't see the scores on that one.
Brad punched 10. No, Connor punched 9 and punched 10, and Brad needed to just get a mark, and he punched.
Yeah.
And so it was 3 punches out of 3 shots.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah. So you played Connor in the 2-3 match, and obviously you knew you were going to be the second seed for a while because it just how everything kind of worked out there. But you beat him best 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Right, and then you went on to play Brad. No, I know Brad, 17-4. He played very well himself. What was your mindset? I know you and Brad have played together before, so you know his tendencies and whatnot. What was your thoughts going into that match?
You mean going into a match against Brad?
Yeah.
I think honestly, Brad had sent me first, and when he sent me first, I think that was kind of because I had messed up against him. I had an opportunity to win in 10 in our earlier, and so in my head, I think that he wanted me because I know that Brad loves to have the shot in his hand, and he likes to finish second. So when he sent me first, that kind of in my mind, I just went, not this time. It was different. It felt weird. I was like, in my mind, it was like, you messed up. I'm not messing up again against you. And I think he came out well. He came out strong. And with his vibe, his eccentric, energy. But I just told myself, I just kept saying, why, instead of worrying about who I was playing or what the situation was, I just was trying to tell myself, why can't it be me? So rather than worrying about that, and I just kept on repeating that to myself, and then for some reason, things just fell my way. I don't know. I just didn't really worry about his. I just continuously just focused on saying, why can't I win? Trying to convince myself why I don't deserve to win. So that was...
throughout the years I've known you, Dwayne, I know, as a competitor on the lanes, I know you have had really good, a lot of success off the lanes with other sports. I think your mental game has always been on point, right? And you know how to talk yourself through situations like that, right? And I think that's definitely a powerful asset that you have.
Yeah, I think it's just stay the course. For me, it's just unless I'm shut out, just believe that there's a chance, right? At this level, we're all going to punch the same amount of times, and we're going to give each other opportunities. We're all going to strike as many times. So just, if you started with a lot of strikes and I started with a bunch of punches, chances are that you can finish the same way I started and I can finish how you started. And it's just keeping that, I guess, mentality. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So obviously, bucket list, Dwayne. What's next? What's the goal for you now?
I don't know. I think the WCBT win would be nice.
A tour final?
A tour final would be really exciting. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I won Manitoba the year before, so that didn't count.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, just just keep playing. I love what everyone's like. What you guys are doing. I love the game.
Yeah.
It's actually it's given me so much, especially the last 5 years. The way everything's kind of unfolded for me with bowling and I guess just life in general. It's been incredible. So I don't take any of it for granted. You never know when it can happen again, right?
Yeah.
Especially,
sure.
I don't know if you guys watch some of the growth in Manitoba and the competition in Manitoba right now. It's insane, man.
It's
Very
definitely
good.
showing or paying off dividends, right? Like you can see, there's lots of youth coming up and really great play, but it just elevates the whole city, the whole province itself, right? It's not just those individual players; it's the competition between those players that makes it that much stronger.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Chasing, going in the last tournament for Masters, Will Thompson and I were tied for, I think, for the 4 tournaments. And it was our best 3 out of whatever, we were tied. And just thinking man, he can go off. Derek Oren is there, Sam, my brother, Colton, Jeff Bourne's there, Ryan Bourne's there, and Aaron Ablas was sitting there, and the list goes on, and it was just, it definitely does raise raises your own level and your own competition, especially to see the young guys. It's
I will say, and you can see the obviously you can see the people coming up, but it's a lot different than it used to be, and you guys are doing it right. When the young bowlers come up, it's not my spot, right? You're encouraging them to play. You want to play the best. You want them to be the best, right? And yeah, you might not make it as much anymore because the good quality there is. But 1, you learn how to play better, and 2, it's a win for you altogether because when you have that opportunity to play, you always have a chance to win.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
As Tim was bitching not 30 minutes ago about Ty taking his spot.
I was just going to say that.
All Tim just
You know
be
what
better.
though? But that's the thing. You know what? I just have to be better, right? And that's the mentality you have to go with, right?
I'm pretty sure Dexter blamed me, but it wasn't me that said it. Our table said it. It said, "Oh, Tim's better." And then Dexter said, "Where is he?"
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
My mom only has 1 son, so that's what I hear. So.
That was the
Which
rumor in
one?
Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, which one's that?
The one that was there.
Long story
okay.
short, he saw somebody wearing an Alberta shirt at a restaurant. I think it was BP's, and she's like, "I said Wiseman on it." It's like, "Oh," Shane Chafe went up to my mom and said, "Hey, so are you relatives of Tim and Dex?" She's like, "Well, I'm actually their mom. You might know my son. He's bowling right now." I didn't say my sons or anything.
Okay,
anything like
she
that.
didn't say her shirt didn't say Wiseman. It said Alberta.
Okay.
So he walked up and was like, "Oh, somebody from Alberta," and he walks up and she goes, "Oh yeah, you might know my son. He's bowling in the tournament division."
Didn't even bring me up, and so Shane instantly just went off on me, and
Oh, it was fantastic.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
As he should,
I
as he should.
actually text Dexter. I was like, "This is hilarious," but yeah.
Mom's like, I never said I only had 1 son. It's like, no, Mom, it's fine.
It's all right. My mom does that all the time. So
That's how the story will grow, though.
it's just Sam. It's just Sam.
Maybe one day we'll get Shane on and he can tell the side of the story, right? So
Oh, that's never happening. He told me we're dead to him. So
yeah, well, he's dead to us too. So it's all good.
Oh no, he's not dead to me.
Yeah, okay.
number one fan.
All right. So we're
yes.
gonna leave it off on
See,
that.
there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
And
I
once
didn't say my
again,
dad. I just said my mom.
congrats again, Dwayne, on
Yeah, thanks,
well
guys.
earned gold
Appreciate
medal
it.
there.
Yeah, I
All
appreciate
right.
that, guys.
Congrats.
We'll see you in just under a
Couple
month.
weeks. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Take care, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Take
See you,
care.
Dwayne. Bye.
I don't like that number. I've convinced myself I don't have to bowl for 6 weeks, and it's going to stay 6 weeks until like the day before
Sure.
the next
Yeah.
time I bowl.
I'm sure your Gallagher Cup team will be so happy about that.
Oh yeah. Can't wait.
I mean, he'll go in, and your team's the best team on paper, and that's how it works.
Moving on.
Hey,
Who's our next guest?
Let's move on. Let's move on to like the star of the show here, right? Everybody
Yeah.
loves her. Let's bring on the tournament ladies single national champion, Josie Brooks.
Hello.
Josie.
Oh,
Hey, Josie.
Happy
Hello.
belated birthday as well.
Yeah.
Thank
Happy birthday.
thanks.
It feels like not so long ago we had you on.
I know. Been on quite a bit, but that's okay.
Yeah. Becoming a regular on the
Yeah,
podcast.
pretty much.
It's a dangerous thing. Get out while you can.
100%.
Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Absolute wild week all around for you. Bowling wise, so four-way tie for third.
Yes.
Wild. Could you walk us through how that all went down and how the tie break happened and all those fun things?
Yeah. All right. So the last game of the qualifying, game 21, I played Connie Ward. And I was like, hey, I know I need these 2 big points. If I don't win, like I probably won't make step ladder. Fine, whatever. Because I didn't pay attention to the standings. And then I lost, I think Connie shot like a 270 to my 250 or something like that. And then I come back and my dad's like, yeah, so there's a 4-way tie for third, hey? I was like, cool.
That's
all
half
right.
the field.
Exactly. I was like, what do you mean there's a 4-way tie? Anyway, so it was myself, Connie, Dakota Heth, and Jennifer Debney. Yeah. And I don't know what happened. Round robin was rough for me. I started 2-5, 5-2, and 3-4. Something just like clicked in my head. I was like, I've struggled all week. Why not now? And well, it happened.
Yeah.
It finally clicked. I worked my line round robin, and everything kind of came together, which was super nice.
That's awesome. So it was a single game roll off and was a high score? Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So what did you shoot?
I shot at 316, I believe.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I started with head pin, and I have this thing that I'm notorious for starting tournaments with head pins. Every tournament, ask my dad, he'll back you up. And I punched my first frame, and I turned around, and Dad's like shaking his head, and I put my head down. I was like, I'm not starting it this way again. And then I went off.
Tournament Masters singles is always super close. There's always a tight. It's hard to get away from the field usually, right?
Yeah, no one.
No, I mean, but to think that, and this is not just looking at the scores, a 10-11 record would win a national championship, right? Like that's nothing against you. It's just how close the field was, right?
Yeah.
No, but you're right.
yeah.
I had all the highest games thrown at me. Like at closing ceremonies when they said Chantel 370, Connie 370, Jen 380. It was me. They were playing me.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you look at your totals. I mean,
you
Chantel and Jen got beat up, but you're at 200 pins more shot against you, right? 55.
Yeah, you had the highest total shot at you by far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't bowl well those games. I think I had like $180s, $190s. So you can't really expect to win with that kind of stuff with this caliber of talent, especially here.
But if you're going to throw a $180, you might as well throw it against the 380, because then it's not like you lost a $180 to 200, and you're like, well, I could have won that game.
Yeah, it doesn't feel nearly as bad.
A $180, $190s for the most part, for the 380, 370s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played them well.
So this is not your first Master Singles event. How does it compare? How does it feel? What was it like being in stepladder versus your last event?
Well, last event, I'm pretty sure I came last. So
That was in
Most
that was in
improved.
Gatineau, wasn't it, though?
yeah,
We'll get you a badge.
That was in Gatineau. You played in Gatineau with Taylor, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was near the bottom, maybe like second, third last. It wasn't close. I didn't bowl well. Anyways, so that in itself was a huge win. I wasn't expecting to make step ladder because I thought I needed the win against Connie, and then I did, and I won step ladder, and it was go time. I was ready for the next day. Yeah.
How was it playing Renee? Obviously, she just won Open National Gold Singles. Like, she's looking at a double crown in the same year. She played phenomenal all week long. She was a high average, high points. Going into that match, like, what is the mindset? Like, Dwayne was just commenting, like, why not me? Was that kind of the same mindset you had, or where were you at with that?
Yeah. Renee played great all week. Such a fierce competitor. I love bowling against her. Me and my dad were talking about this earlier, and I almost blacked out during those games. Like, I honestly don't remember much. But I was just so excited to be there and have the opportunity, and yeah, why not me? Why can't it be, my turn per se? I know I was good enough, and
Totally.
I just had to keep on with what I was doing and not, throw a $140.
Yeah.
Like I did the day before.
Everybody throws $140s, even Katie Rayner. So
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, there was going to go.
when people are struggling through the tournament, eventually there's a point where it's going to click, right? And you just got to keep grinding. You got to try to find it, and then eventually, when you do find it, you're good, and you've just found it at the perfect time, right?
Yeah.
And like that's a superpower. If you can pull that out when you really need it, that's awesome.
I don't know where it came from, but it clicked at the right moment, and
there's always like some adversity in like winning tournaments. There always is, and like like you said, you struggled the first day a little bit, and you came back and you were way better. Do you think part of that is after the first day, you relaxed a little bit after having a little vacation in the elevator for an hour?
I knew you were gonna break it. Yeah, I do, honestly.
Like, is that like a new routine? Because your second day was phenomenal.
I am never stuck in an elevator ever again. I am team stairs all the way.
Yeah.
But it was so hot in there that like nothing could compare to the heat at the bowling alley. So I just kept reminding myself, well, it could be as hot as when I was crammed in the elevator with 9 other people. This ain't so bad. I'll be fine. I survived that. I'll be good.
I know we were all sketched out by the elevators. We were watching them all. We're like, no, we took stairs as much as we could.
Yeah.
60% of the elevators broke down in the weekend.
I know.
That's an astronomical number.
Get me started.
We got onto an elevator and the door closed and didn't move.
Yeah.
We opened it back up. The door closed. It didn't move. The door opened up. I got the fuck out of there. that was that.
The only time
The elevator moved once Dexter got off.
I mean, we didn't need to go that far, Ty, but that's fine.
I had to go to the 6th floor, so like,
Hey,
I'm glad it moved.
I was on 5.
So, Josie, I know you played 2019 with Taylor.
Yes.
Right? And then you played with Dave. I don't know Dave all that well in 2023 this year. But from my understanding, maybe the way the format was ran, was it beneficial to you, or was it like, because we played in Quebec, we played 4 on a lane, right? And it was extremely slow. You're playing with another set of people. It was totally different. And in Plaza, you play with 2s, right? It's a totally different format. Did that make a difference at all?
I think format for me, it matters because I like a steady pace. So like a 3-on-2, perfect. It was a little quick, but if it was working for me, it was working. If I was struggling, it didn't give me the time that I'm used to or that I prefer, I guess, to step back from my shot and like okay, I just put the 3-pin twice through the hole. Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah. I didn't have that time to really step back and like analyze my shot. I just had to get up and go. Yeah. So I hit and miss. I don't know.
So it's whatever rhythm you're in is the rhythm you're stuck with.
Yeah, exactly. For me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I always wondered because when I played different ones, I thought the pace was better when we had twos, right? And obviously, you have more time to indulge yourself in other festivities a little bit later, right? So, that I know that your dad was probably very happy about too. So.
Yeah.
So that being said, obviously winning 2 golds this year was a hell of a season. Making some cuts on the WCBT was great. Winning your doubles at the Diamond Classic. What are your thoughts for the upcoming season, and what are your goals?
I'm happy to have a break right now. It's been nice. I haven't even stepped inside a bowling alley since the day after we got back. That was only to get my paycheck.
I wish I could say the same.
I dropped off some checks for some people at a bowling alley, but that's about it.
Yeah. No. As far as next season goes, this is going to be a tough one to beat. Like, it started early for me in October, right? Throwing that 1,000 and then tour cuts and all the other stuff that happened this year. So I think I'll just be happy with whatever I get next year. If I make the Open and Masters again, wonderful. If not, I'll fall back and I'll just use that to make me stronger. As far as goals, Open singles. That's one that still needs to be checked off the bucket list, I think. Yeah. 3 years in a row, I've came second at the provincials.
Hey, I've been there.
I'm ready to take that next leap up, and
you'll
hopefully be there this year, but we'll see.
You
how
will get there.
Go.
Yeah. Just a matter of time and when.
No, I'm in no rush either. So.
Well, I'm certain it'll happen sooner than you think it will, but
when you start getting our age, you'll start being in more of a rush.
Yeah, like.
But and the other thing is too, when you say, "Oh, it's okay if I don't make a Masters team or Open team," trust me, when you're ready to compete, you'd be very upset if you're not on.
Oh, 100%.
So it's never that good. Maybe have you guys thought about maybe the Revengers showing up this year?
Yeah. That
hey, you got the team name right, Timmy.
I actually wrote it down before I said it.
Yeah, at least got it right. It's funny, when we got home, my Open medal and my Masters medal were sitting on the piano in our house on top of an Average Pros towel.
Oh, well, that's how you guys played, yeah. That makes sense, yeah.
So I'm hoping that gave me a little.
Pretty sure there's a team that beat the Dream Crushers during the regular season, though.
Just one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not two.
That's okay.
Trust me, nothing's more insulting than losing the Revengers and the Bombers. But
going undefeated in a season is a bad omen to begin with. You don't want that.
Yeah. Well, we could have tried it because it didn't help us in the final anyways.
It didn't, but it is what it is. So, Insider Scoop, what's the new rebrand this year?
Revengers Part 2. The Winter Soldier.
That's Captain America, but that's cool.
There's too many Avenger movies. I don't know what order they go in, so I went with the second Captain America.
So Avengers is the group of people. It's the group of people.
Yeah, but I don't know what. It's
Tim,
like Infinity War.
Let Josie tell us. Let Josie tell us. So what is it? Let's hear it. What's the team next year?
We got no rebranding. We're the Regina Revengers.
Perfect.
Oh. I don't believe that for a second.
Daryl, I can tell you right now, Daryl's very upset. He wants more merch to be sold. So
he likes the rebrands.
He likes the rebrands. Yeah, he eats that
Making
up.
that jersey with the 7 or 8 of us, however many were in that group chat, was so difficult.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine.
Gosh. Oh my goodness.
Danny's so hard to deal with. No, Daddy was probably the least of the concerns, that's for sure.
He's like, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more.
Whatever
yellow.
Sarah says.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
All right. Regina, not Team Tim. Get in line, eh?
I think that's a good spot.
Yeah, if
you know what? I will
say the entire country could rally around. It's
Kyle's Team Tim.
Team not Tim.
Me and Kyle are playing a doubles tournament next year, so. He is Team 10.
You and who?
Kyle Young.
Oh God, he's gonna have to backpack you.
You see his shoulders?
You guys gonna
He's
play
big
like
boy.
the hybrid doubles together?
Yeah, I'm the POA bowler. Yeah, gotcha.
I did see some comments here before we let Josie go. We'll keep her in here till the end. There is a tournament starting up in Dawson Creek for all those people that want to go play it in the third weekend of September.
Yeah.
Third or fourth?
22nd, 23rd,
Third
something
weekend,
like that?
yeah. 22nd, 23rd, yeah. And then, obviously, the Beef Bowl is happening in Medicine Hat on the second weekend. There it is. Kyle Young's all over it. The second weekend of September is Beef Bowl in Medicine Hat. Lots coming up. Josie, congrats again on the gold.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know this, and this will be a podcast exclusive. You were the female player of the year on the WCBT.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So there will be a trophy and some cash coming your way. Congratulations.
Oh, that's
Add
awesome.
that to your season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good year.
that's amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we'll let you go and then we'll wrap this podcast up. Congrats again.
Thanks so much,
Awesome.
guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, Josie, congrats.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, Tim, these podcasts are supposed to be an hour and a little bit, not 2 hours.
I saw the schedule and I was like, holy.
He always does
But
this.
it's good.
I'm actually surprised he showed up for this one, though.
I was gonna say, Carrie and I had like the same schedule set for our youth one, and we crushed it.
You know, everybody gets to, I have to say, teaching men and ladies and senior team all winning the same on the same team, perfect.
Helped big time.
Helped big time. Nobody was left behind on this, so happy to have everybody on. 15 minutes, sometimes maybe it's too much. Maybe I just narrow it down to 10. Yeah.
If it was down to 10, Rick wouldn't have been on, so 15's perfect.
We would have cut somebody off to make sure Jana. We would have made it work, but yeah, we would have hopped on maybe a little bit after Jana. But it was really good. Like everybody's on there. Obviously, I think like I said through the podcast, teams that play together win together, right? And I think that's just a huge component.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. So next week, ladies podcast.
Nice.
They're taking over the reins again. Nice. So we get a week off, and Tracy and Katie will fill your faces with a bunch of information. I guess we could announce, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, the Newfoundland school is running this week, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this weekend.
Des is a facilitator going out there, so congrats to her and all the people putting that together out there. It looks like a phenomenal lineup. I know BC school just finished up here with Tom Patterson here this last week. Lots of bowling going on in the summer when everybody doesn't want to be in a bowling alley, so...
But you know what? It's good that they're playing in St. Pat's this week. They're going to learn how to adjust.
Yeah, for sure. Put socks on your shoes, kids.
It didn't help. Ty was sticking in socks.
I put socks on and it helped a little.
My sock. I never thought that I would have to put chalk on a sock
that
in a bowling alley.
Extreme as it gets. But I feel bad for them because their pinfall's great and there's very little they can do.
Yeah. Oh, we bitched about it, though.
It wouldn't be a tournament master not to bitch at something. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. That's what we do.
Because we are gross and we're big babies.
That's right. Should have just slid through it.
We should have just slid through it. You're right.
Just like butter. All right.
All right. You guys have a great week and have fun watching the Ladies Podcast next week. See you, everyone.
See you guys later.